just a dream, Sonny. Nothing more. I looked at Marty and I saw the same thing in his eyes as he probably saw in mine. It's time to hit the brakes, to turn back, go home and forget about all of this. Of course, I stepped on the gas instead. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything good, but...
Так, попали мы с вами. Да, точно как ужастики.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
Да, видочек здесь. Здесь интересная есть. Странная роспись.
This
It's very
special.
Так, окно, пациент, коридор, медсестра. Давайте пациент.
This guy seems strangely familiar.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take it.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true.
Oh, no. Poor Dad.
Поговорить мы не можем.
That was very poetic of you, Marty.
Pluck you.
Поговорить мы с ним не можем. Давайте с медсестрой поговорим тогда.
Of all the great wild ones.
Greetings, miss.
Is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumy, that's...
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really...
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God. Take a deep breath.
Are you okay, miss?
Yes, I am. I just needed some air. So, dear...
Well, miss, we have some questions if...
I'd love to answer all of your questions.
Так, какое достижение получили наряд полиции мы с вами. Давайте посмотрим. Так, жираф, женский. Яро фанат нас, к сожалению. Так, зритель приветливая. Пернатых для неприличия. Давайте спросим.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was
The place seems pretty empty.
We have
Софи, не нажимай на
32
кнопочки.
residents and 7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course...
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist.
Quite a guy.
He certainly is.
Так, доктор.
So who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published...
Psycho... what?
Unraveling the Mind. It's the most crucial...
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right?
I'm not sure I know what you...
Well, like, Mr. Hobart Wessler.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but...
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very...
I thought so.
Так.
Now, what can you say about this, miss? Have you...
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But the wristband does belong to one of our residents.
Oh, come on, Miranda.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter...
All right.
Figures. Just...
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never...
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Oh, we won't. I promise.
Да никому не скажем, да.
So when can we talk to Mr.
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal.
Thank you.
Так, давайте подождем минуточку. Окно.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office.
What a surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but
Danger? What do you mean?
we haven't heard from him since he disappeared. And we're really...
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
Опа.
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all its fur.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty.
Exactly. Great wild ones. You scared the hell.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know,
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in...
lucky. Please take a...
Так, что у нас интересного есть? Стены, доктор, стол, стены, окно. Давайте поговорим.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is...
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude of me.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my part
From the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind.
Please be
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not...
very funny, I must say.
We know you know. It's about Albert...
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient.
Now, that's much more interesting.
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason.
Not even if it's a matter of life.
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, detective.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a...
Please, detective, just do.
Так, все, у нас появилась функция спросить. Давайте посмотрим. Так, у нас про Альберта появилась новая, да? Угу. И... Вот у нас появился зеленый питон, профессорище эрудит, философ, бог знает еще. Давайте спросим.
How long was Albert a resident?
For quite some time. His first symptoms...
Was he brought here immediately after the first...
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer...
Then how do you sustain yourself?
By the grace of the treasury of...
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty...
Так.
What kind of a place is this exactly?
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years. But
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was...
That's almost accurate.
What a lovely inheritance.
Так, и мадам
Tell me,
зараз.
Doctor, do you know...
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her. But I never...
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together.
Is that...
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow...
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Так, все, у нас с вами появился допрос. Давайте посмотрим, что у нас здесь интересного в кодексе появилось. С момента основания клуба, как однажды. Ну, про покупаться, ладно, бог с ним. 21 персонаж остался. Так, ну и все, давайте на допрос.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage.
Так,
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly.
Could you describe that day?
It was not long after New
Подробности
Year's
первой недели
Eve,
года.
maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were, or at least I knew one of them.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible grey...
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course.
What was your first impression?
He was silent, but observed every...
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our...
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge?
Особое лечение? Какое лечение
What kind of
получал?
special treatment?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as...
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our...
Of course. So in what way?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete...
So you didn't even know if he had anything?
Initially, no. He was more...
Так. Может, там про первую встречу говорили?
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine.
Так, интересно.
Why did he have to be locked?
I asked the same thing.
Несколько,
Are
да.
you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to...
Опа, покинул учреждение.
Left the institute.
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left...
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details.
Так. Когда и зачем?
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded...
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic.
That was unusual for...
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relation.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady?
Oh, exactly.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Ну-ка.
Has Albert ever talked to you about...
Only in superlatives.
And what did you think about his...
We are in an institution where almost everyone is hallucinating on a daily basis, Mr. Feather.
Thanks, Doc. I didn't understand a word, but I think I get the point.
Несколько раз
So
уезжал.
Albert left on many occasions to continue...
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a...
More danger.
Albert was
Ранил.
hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was
Do
unprecedented.
you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed.
What exactly happened?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his...
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about it.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out or cut off, I don't know.
So you're saying
Глаз и
Albert was
язык.
brought back.
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also...
Ну... Наверное, до этого, да?
Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but
I'm not that kind of doctor, Mr. Featherland. But even I could determine his...
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it.
I totally agree.
Так. Ну, мне кажется, первое, скорее всего, нам надо понять, в каком состоянии он был, да? Или нет, или все-таки что случилось. Давайте пробуем.
Concentrate,
Надо же
Doctor.
понять, что
What do you
случилось.
think happened?
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mute.
But why would he do...
Maybe Albert saw something.
To whom? The four walls, a couple...
To anyone, Miss.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor.
Ничего такое чувство, что
Welcome, Detective.
это не Альберт, а
How did Albert disappear?
этот Ибн, брат его.
Few weeks later, Hobart came
Да,
to visit
Хобарт.
Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition.
What did Hobart do during the...
He didn't do anything. He just sat.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps.
Do you think Hobart could have...
It's horrible to say it.
How did he disappear in the end?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help.
We understand, Doctor.
У меня такое сакральное чувство. О, неплохо, отлично. Настоящий детектив. Молодцы, Альберт исчез. Ну, скорее всего, его убил брат. Альберт теперь вместо Ибна. Скорее всего, так. Почему-то такое чувство. Раз язык, руки и глаз все повыкалывали, скорее всего, так и есть. Подменили, чтобы не поняли, чтобы он ничего не рассказал. Так, ну все. Так, а что у нас здесь еще есть, интересно? Больше поговорить ни о чем не можем.
That's
Так.
quite...
I think you understand.
Then the
Accident? Huh. We didn't believe it. Not for a second.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out, and his...
We believe you, Doctor. So,
I'd rather call it his room.
Thanks to the Wessler name.
Yes. Well,
I hope you don't
Так.
mind if we take a...
That's not good.
Ага, мы в
That's,
комнате.
I've never seen a cell like this before.
It seems that being a Wessler gets...
And a healthy dose of...
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around.
Well, I smell... paint, ink,
What the dickens?
unmistakable. Yeah,
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your...
I'm on it, boss bird.
Так, что у нас здесь есть? Модная
You know,
кровать.
you
Ладно,
mean-
да.
You're right.
As always.
Кровать, картина.
The style. It's very...
You've been lonely for far too...
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little.
Так. Жуткая.
No way. Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something imp...
Тут что, что-то... А. Что-то надо повторить, что ли? Или что? Давайте. Может, повторить надо все-таки, да? Или что надо сделать? Ну, типа, давайте повторим. Исчезает, видите? Ну, наверное, что-то надо повторить. Что тут у нас есть? Не работает.
That
What?
design. It's like two...
Exactly. And
Where?
think, Marty. Let's take a look.
That piece of painting. Of course. So it's
Albert Wessler, the painter.
Ah.
This was what Natasha...
It all started with
and it'll end when we find...
with Ibn Wessler.
Maybe, but I have another theory.
Так, что еще есть? Письменный стол, давайте посмотрим. Письмо, куча газет. Фото Весслеров.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
Опа.
Well,
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please.
just use your imagination, old.
Look at
Опа,
that.
письмо.
A
Так, что-то еще есть? Куча газет.
newspaper article.
Just like the troubled mind of.
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in...
If you say so, boss.
Так. Ну, видимо, все. Давайте посмотрим, что за письмо у нас с вами.
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her. I'm afraid...
Прочитать, видимо, не можем, да? Ну-ка.
Identical twins. And looking at it,
Не можем? А,
Identical.
все. Письмо посмотрели, да?
Albert was...
Так.
What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all...
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed.
Ну
Why do you have
да,
to be so
да, да.
melodramatic?
Мне
If I'm
кажется...
right, this'll flip the whole...
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some.
I just have to think things through before I come
Ugh, you're killing me.
back to Clawville, where we can finally put all...
You're driving me.
Мне почему-то кажется...
What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko?
Did she ever visit this place?
Never. But if you ask me,
And Albert, did he mention her?
constantly, it was obvious he had an affection.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind.
Do you think so? Or
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work...
In 99% of.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs...
If you say so.
Ну, получается, тут все. Мне кажется, убит Ибн, а жив Альберт. И он просто подменился. Да. Не, точно нет. Так, а на ком? А вот. Вот он, Ибн. Почему-то мне кажется, что нет. Так, нам надо вернуться. Да, в отель. Больше никуда мы не можем.
Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Ну, опять стрельба. О, фар можно стрелять. Слышь?
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Ай,
Shut up and
прячемся.
shoot, you big feather pillow.
Блин,
Are you
давайте
blind
пока
or
будет
what?
по колесам
When you learn to
стрелять.
shoot?
Он там 3 очереди, да? Да, 3 очереди у него. Все, сейчас забьем, отлично. Ну, достижений там, по-моему, еще получили, что ли? За то, что фары, что ли, выпили им?
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste, and it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is...
Come on, what did you work out?
Sure. Let's put the picture together. Let's
Так, у
start
нас
from the
расследование.
beginning. So, we got a case.
Да, мы получили... Так, возможно, подозреваемые. Ибн... В смысле, не уверен. Подсказка. Близнецы. Роковая страсть. А, не, предмет сначала. Фото. А, письмо, может быть. Не сейчас. Вот это фото. Кусочек картины. Давай сначала. Значит, мы получили дело. Нет, не нашли картину. Наташа пыталась показать нам картину, мне кажется. Ну, потому что, по идее, по логике... По логике, она оторвала кусочек, чтобы сказать, что кто-то замешан. Тут только так, других вариантов нет. Так, и эта картина вела нас на след, который привел бы... Ну, скорее всего, вот это, да? Или в Риче, подождите. Пу-пу-пу, ну-ка. Нет? Нет. Значит, первое. Сейчас. Нет, нет, нет. Да.
Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion.
И теперь подсказки. Роковая страсть.
Which made Albert...
Вот, мне кажется, вот. Нет? Блин. Вот так что ли? Ну да, я просто тот вариант выбрал. Да.
He killed his brother, so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
Молодцы. Круто. Разгадали.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront...
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course...
Do you think she knew about?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too...
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, after 10 years, you did learn...
9. Huh.
What?
You just laughed.
What? No, I...
No, you laughed.
Just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to my grandchicks.
All right, pal, that's an...
Okay. So...
And his best chance was to trade places.
So that's why the torn out...
Yeah.
Ну да, все правильно предположил.
Squeal even if he wanted.
What a diabolical...
Дьявольский фан, так точно.
But why the messages then? Why the threats?
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind.
So the messages were written by one...
Something like that, Marty. But we can only...
You're right.
We're going, Marty, to...
Well, if there's anything you'd like to do before...
You're right, Marty. It's time to...
Давайте с Льюисом поговорим.
Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake.
I've never been this excited, Sonny. Serious. What is it?
You? Lewis?
What?
Just now, you didn't...
Oh.
And it's...
So,
Come on, boys. Don't...
maybe... The last...
Hey, Sonny. Don't spoil...
Pardon?
Nothing.
Так. А я не знаю, нам в отель надо сам. Это есть Ибн Уэслер. Угу. Все верно. А что у нас? Сосательный знак горит, открыть не можем. Или там как раз Ибн Уэслер, этот Альберт появится. Видимо, да. Так, что-то можем посмотреть?
I see we're ready.
You'll need a shotgun for this kind of deal, Marty.
Nothing to fear while Bertha's here. Even left.
Should I cry?
That would be nice for a change.
Тут еще заброшенный магазин. Давайте на карту и отправимся в особняк. Ну, мы со всеми поговорили. Кстати, Зип вернулся, интересно, нет?
You know, Sonny, few places...
You have a point.
The silence, the fog, the sun...
The smell.
Yeah. The cobbler district has its own.
It seems Zip is ready.
That's waiting only for.
Да, давайте зайдем к Зипу.
Well, he's out.
They're often the same, Marty. Hello, Zip.
You know, Sonny. They told me I could stay in there for.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
Shit, I had enough. Fuck it. You understand? When you interrogated me, you opened my eyes. I don't give a shit.
That's the Zip we know and love.
Thanks, Marty.
One last coffee.
Are you going to get him?
We don't have a choice, Zip. We're grabbing a rat.
Ah, I see Ibn's
Just Sonny. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Так, ну все получается, да? Кстати, тут журнальчик нигде не валяется. Нет. Ну, давайте отправляться все туда. В воскресный коттедж.
So.
No, I was just thinking we could.
Okay, sure.
Don't even.
You're really becoming sentimental.
One more word.
Yep, I'm gonna shut it. You don't want to go in there just like that.
I hope you're just messing with me.
Of course I'm messing with you. Let's get inside there and see how much. You know, Sonny, when we entered the room.
Deborah.
Yeah, her body. I called you every name in the.
What kept you with me?
No. I just wanted to see your downfall, boss. I wanted to be.
Wow. Well,
But then everything changed.
on the ship.
I don't know. Being tied up with you, waiting for certain death. I know I lashed out at you, but in truth.
I think I do, Marty.
So, I guess there's
Nothing left to do but kill a rat.
for the last time.
For the last clucking time, partner.
Swear.
I swear.
All right.
Так, о, вот достижение, тени прошлого. Через пятно крови.
Any better?
Not really.
I'm curious about how they killed her.
Well, if all goes well,
Or not.
or not, wouldn't be the first time.
Так, ну все.